All right, folks, it's Meatballs and Martinis Monday. Scott Levison and Steve Levy mixed it up. They shook it up. Now we're going to get to some real serious subject matter. And joining us today is Jana Mendez. She is the author of this book, The Moscow Rules. She's a 25-year master of disguise for the CIA. And you might recall the movie Argo, where her husband, her late husband, American patriot Tony Mendez, was portrayed by Ben Affleck as the hostage drama in Iran. So as we talk about Iran, why not bring in someone who's been with the CIA? Jana Mendez joins us today. Jana, thank you so much for being here. I know the late Tony was the subject of this movie Argo, and it's still a sore subject for you. But in your view, how was the portrayal in the movie compared to what you had to live through in real life?
It's a sore spot because his passing was so recent.
Yes.
We loved the movie. We thought Ben Affleck made a fabulous movie. We were probably wonderfully surprised. It was not supposed to be Ben Affleck. It was supposed to be George Clooney. But Affleck did a really good job.
Do you think Ben Affleck was better as Batman or as Tony?
Oh, he was better as Tony.
You do.
Although Tony never gave him a minute. He told Ben that Ben was 6'3", Tony was 5'8". My husband always told Affleck that he was not good looking enough, and then he would remind him that all the women had hoped it was George Clooney, because Clooney had originally meant to play the part.
Well, who was better looking, Tony or Clooney?
I don't know. I never got that close to Clooney, but I would pick Tony every time.
So tell our audience out there, you know, we're talking about Iran a lot lately. There's a lot of saber rattling going on. We're talking about moving troops and warships and all this stuff over there. You were with the CIA as a master of disguise for 25 years. What do you think the CIA is doing over in Iran right now behind the scenes?
Oh, that's a really good question. What they would hope to be doing is what we always do, which is to get out there and collect the plans and intentions, foreign intelligence, bring it home to our policymakers, and give them the material they need to make informed decisions. I hope they're able to do that. Because what the White House, what the U.S. government will want to know right now is, what are the Iranians planning? What is their agenda? What are they doing? Typically, the way we get that information is either through some photographs of documents, some meetings with some of our agents. We try and find that out.
What was the best disguise you ever created? If it's not confidential information.
Well,
don't give us any names or anything. Do they do like the eyeglasses with the nose and the mustache, or do they get like serious?
We don't claim that one. Probably the prototype of the best was a mask that we made. It was the first production mask that came out of this research and development. And I wore it to the White House. And I briefed President George H.W. Bush.
Really?
In the Oval Office, sitting in front of his desk, wearing a mask that actually animated that I could talk. And
so the CIA didn't want you to be recognized going in to brief the president, so they made you disguise yourself to get you in there, kind of.
There was more than that. He had been the head of the CIA at one point.
That's right.
And when he was running the CIA, we had given him some disguises for this and for that, for some meetings. I was there as the chief of disguise to show him how far we had come, how much better we had gotten at our trade. So he was looking at mask number 2 that we had made. It was, if it was an automobile, it would be the second one off of the production line, and he was duly impressed.
He was impressed. So Jana and her husband Tony are American patriots. They've put their life on the line, their liberty on the line. Iran was a place where you were separated from your husband for quite some time. Do you think that these Freddy's Gourmet meatballs are like the same that you guys make in Washington. So on Liquid Lunch, it's not just drinking. We have food, we have beverages, and we have the greatest guests like you. But I think these are the greatest meatballs.
They're pretty good looking, and I thought they were props when I first walked in. I didn't think that these were real. But I have to tell you that I'm sitting here and I can smell them, and they smell really good.
Well, I'm gonna send you home with a care package. We don't usually do takeout, but these are the finest meatballs, and you are one of the finest guests we've had on this show in quite some time. God bless you and Tony's passing. I hope at some point you get past your sadness and realize what a great contribution he's made to our country and our liberty. And for you watching at home, check out this book, The Moscow Rules,